Today, I am joined by Davenport University's head coach, Dominique Bailey. Davenport is located in the Midwest in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it is a CRAA Division 1A program. That's the highest level in U.S. collegiate rugby. They are currently ranked 13th in the nation, and welcome, Coach Bailey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So, Coach Bailey, or Coach Dom, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
So I came to Davenport back in 2012. I graduated from here. From here, I kind of started getting involved in a lot of things. I got into MLR um, with Austin for 5 years, played with DC for one, was part of the PR Sevens, was part of the USA Sevens player pool until I tore my ACL. I've been doing a lot of traveling and playing whatnot. So that's kind of my background on playing wise, but coaching wise. When I was in DC, I helped the Nova women's team, led them to the national championship. Then during my time in Austin, every time I come back here for my off season, I would kind of give a hand and help out during my off season time with the forwards and stuff like that, and giving back to my group of guys here at Davenport. So I have a lot of experience in that side of coaching in a sense, and then as well as I'm also the owner of Next Gen Rugby too as well. So we do a lot of pop-up camps across different cities. We're slowly putting together travel teams to take them across seas and stuff like that too as well.
So, can you tell me about the rugby program at Davenport?
Absolutely. So we've been typically top 15 over since the years that we've started this program. We started back in 2009. 2009 and 2010, we was D1 AA national championships. Then we got moved up to Division 1A. From there, we just been a top contender, um, every year battling in, battling out, So I think these next couple of years, we're going to really push for that top number one spot.
Great. Tell me about your international players and the value they bring to the team.
International guys, love bringing guys in. It's like a melting pot within our team, right? It's good for my domestic guys and as well as some of those other international guys too. Understanding different perspectives, coaching, philosophies, understanding. So it's a big learning thing that we all get to add something to the table that we get to build here. We can create our own kind of mix and flow of what team looks like and our game style too. So it's something beautiful.
Along those lines, I asked you earlier offline what makes your team special. Could you share that with us?
So something that's special to me, like I just recently took over as head coach back in December, and this we just kickstarted our new year last week, and something I'm very very focused on is our off-field connection, and something that we've been working on towards off-field is just breaking through that vulnerability with one another and connecting with one another, understanding each other's backgrounds and stories, motives, wants. Because a lot of times, this surface level conversation, you're not gonna really stand up and fight for your brother next to you on that field. Yeah, you might do the things, but do you really have his back? Does he really check on you? The stronger the bond that we can create off the field, that will translate onto the field. No matter what, you can always rely on that brother to do his job and to help you out when you need it. So I think it's something spectacular what we're building here right now.
That sounds great. When you're recruiting, what do you look for in a top recruit? And by contrast, what's a red flag to you?
Red flag, I'll start off with that, is egos. Um, I don't really want to deal with I know it all and uncoachable, egotistic people. What I'm looking for in a top recruit, yeah, that wow factor is nice, but also, are you, how is your work rate? What is your work rate off ball? What are you doing when coaches is not paying attention and the media is not on you, right? Those are the key little things that I like to look at because sometimes that gets overlooking, and then you get a guy come in here and then he's not doing the things that we need him to do, right? So if I can pay attention to those small details, I think that will help carry the team that I'm trying to build here.
So, along those lines, with when people are sending you film, do you want to see full games as well as highlights?
Correct. Correct. I'd rather see a couple highlights. Yes, it's nice, but I'd rather see full game, full view of the field. So, what are you doing when you after you make a tackle? You slow getting up. Are you getting back into your position, setting early, nomination? Things like that I'm looking for. Um, yeah.
And if someone is reaching out to you and trying to get recruited by you, how often do you want to hear from them?
Repeat that question again.
If someone wants to be recruited by you and they're reaching out to you, they're sending you footage, how often do you want to hear from them?
I'd like to start off a strong connection, so I'll follow up with their email or whatever. Uh, And typically, I try to jump on a phone call, connect. So if it's a domestic student, I'd love to connect and get them on for a campus visit. If it's an international student, we'll stay in connections. We'll have a first phone call, and then we'll just stay in connection through the process of dealing with admissions and stuff like that. I definitely will try to help guide those players in those situations and stuff like that.
Okay. And what are your goals for this season?
Goals for the season. Our goals for the season right now is to perform better than what we did last year. Last year we got stuck in first round of playoffs. So this year we're aiming for winning our conference play and then as well as making it through the first round of playoffs.
So
Uh,
do you play 15s and sevens?
we're primarily focused on 15s.
Okay.
Just with that is with our USA Rugby big initiative to support the World Cup. And Scott Lawrence's mission too as well to get a lot of these guys that development and game time, play time. So, for a lot of us CRA members, we're really big on focusing on the 15 developmental side of things. And then on the tail end of our season where we'll play sevens and stuff like that for nationals.
Could you tell me how scholarships work at Davenport?
Absolutely. Scholarships, we give out academic scholarships, and then we give out rugby scholarships. Our academic scholarship ranges between $10,000 and $5,000. It just all depends on your GPA level. And then as well as our rugby scholarship, it could range from five to 10, and then 10 plus. It just depends on what kind of player you are and, understanding needs too as well.
Yeah, that's great. And is there a women's rugby program at Davenport?
Yeah, we have a very, very strong, successful women's program here at Davenport. A lot of national championships. They won. I kind of lost track, but they're very successful in their conference and the division that they play. So
Beyond rugby, what do you think are the best things about Davenport? What are the academic strong points?
strong points for our Davenport University is our three core pillars that we've built our foundation of the university on, which is uh, business, IT, and medical. Those are three prestigious degree plans that we offer here at the university, and have a very high success rate graduating, but as well as afterwards, success with your career. A lot of universities here in America take your money and hand you a piece of paper. One thing that separates Davenport from all those other universities, they actually truly care about you in a sense of giving you those tools, resources, and educating you on your resume building, your professional development, basically what it is. So your resume building, your interviewing skills, how to carry yourself, so build you up in a sense like that. And then let's say you graduate, and then they will help network you into positioning yourself into that job that you want. And let's say that job is not even a job that you wanted to. You did it, you don't really like it, you can't find nothing else. You can always come back to Davenport to our career services and connect with those members, and they will help retailer your resume and put you in a different pool and network and connections to allow you to get to the job that you truly want and desire.
That's a great service. You told me earlier offline about the dorms at Davenport, and they're really different than a lot of other places. Could you talk about what life is like living at the school?
Absolutely. So for incoming freshmen coming in, the dorm setup is not your standard university dorms where you're got two beds in a room, and every time you wake up, you're looking at your roommate. Unfortunately, it's kind of like an apartment style. You get a four-bedroom apartment, a living room area, mini fridge, a sink, two bathrooms. So that is like your dorm itself. Uh, and then as you progress through the years, you get to in the upperclassmen dorms, you get to have same concept, but just adding a full-size kitchen. So it's pretty incredible. Food's amazing. It's got a calf buffet that we have chefs that cook on site. They change the rotation of the food, so it's never getting boring. Some kids will say, but it stays really good every day, week in, week out. We also have a couple other cafeteria spots that you can pick up food to as well, which is
Great.
good. And
And
then we have, oh,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say we have campus life too as well, which is pretty cool here on the university side of things to see, which they're always engaged and uplifting students and giving them some type of activity to do on campus or build that connection with their peers. You know, sometimes a lot of kids are away from home, far away from home, and they don't have that family connection. They can't go back home, so they do all these kind of activities to allow students to bond outside of their sporting event or just out of their own normal social bubble.
That sounds great. Um, you've spent a lot of your life in Grand Rapids, Michigan. What can you tell us about the community of Grand Rapids? And when I think of Michigan, I think it's kind of cold. What do you do about training in the winter? What does the week look like? Can you just paint a bit of a picture for us?
Do you want community outside of the program, or do you want kind of a typical day in our
Let's
program?
let's do both. Tell me first what a week in the life of one of your rugby players is like, training, lifting, classes, and then we'll move on to the wider community.
Awesome, awesome. So typically we train Monday through Friday. Um, so players will have their class in the morning time. Then the guys will come in, get treatment, whatever they need to do, midday. Then we're on the field. Mondays are typically our film preview review day. Breaking down our performance from the past weekend and breaking down our opponents for the upcoming weekend and making new learnings and stuff like that. Then
So you said you
Tuesdays,
had class in the morning. Does that mean that because you are an elite club status or a varsity club, that you've got preferential scheduling, that everyone gets their classes in the morning?
I wouldn't say everyone gets their classes in the morning. There's a few that have some evening classes,
Okay.
and there's those that have online classes. We give out different opportunities depending on your learning capabilities, right? So we either 15 weeks online, oh, sorry, in seat, or you do accelerated classes where it's 7 weeks and 7 weeks. Um, and then we can do a kind of a mixed blend where you're online, but you have to clock in to a classroom time set, or you just do online at your own pace. So it just depends on what your class is and how you structure that with our academic advisor.
Okay. Sorry, I interrupted. You were talking about your rugby schedule.
Yeah. So, and then Tuesdays, a very, very high intensity day. And then Wednesdays, it's kind of a coach optional day, just kind of how we see fit leading into that prep week for the games. Whether we need a full session plan, whether we need an hour on the field, it's individual split work or individual skills kind of concept. It's just kind of, or we might have the day off too. It just really depends on how our loading is, and then what we need for preparation for that game or our travel schedule too as well. What day are we traveling? Thursday, another high intensity attack focus kind of day. Fridays, captain's run walkthrough. Then we have after we're done with our training, guys are in the gym with their S&C coach Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, it's boom, boom, boom. You're always staying busy.
So there's a whole lot of rugby.
A whole lot of rugby.
When you travel, where do you travel to? Are you on the bus for 6 hours, 8 hours? Are you flying places?
Or majority of the time we are busing.
Okay.
Okay. Our conference play is Lindenwood, McKendree, Arkansas State. Used to be Life, but we'll still continue to add them into our mix of games. We do a lot of cross conference play, like this upcoming next weekend. We play the Mount too as well. So and then we have Penn State at the tail end of our season. So we do a lot of cross play over to the East too.
So some of those aren't really around the corner. So it takes quite a bit of time to get if you're going to the Mount or if you're going to Penn State or Life.
6 to 14 hours on the bus.
Wow. So pack your headphones and get your homework done.
Yeah, no, we'll make some stops. It's not too bad when you think of it. It's like, oh no, that's really bad, but it's really not bad. We make stops. We have a good time. Boys get to bond together. They bring their games on the bus and connect with one another. So,
Great. So finally, tell me about Grand Rapids and the wider community and what it has to offer.
Grand Rapids is pretty amazing. Actually, I want to say maybe 5 years ago, Forbes rated them as one of the top 10 cities to raise a family in. It's very, very clean, and a very clean city, very respectable. There's a lot of different cool things to do. We always bring in different artistries. I think that's how you phrase that. Artists will come in and set up their artwork and display it. We'll host different concerts. The food here is amazing. So we have foods from all across the world that comes in, set up their restaurants and businesses. Um, it's small, but it's not small, in a sense. So if you don't like big cities, this is a great city. But if you like a big city, this is gonna feel small. So it's just kind of you get a little bit of both.
That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you for meeting with me today and sharing your experience. And good luck this season. I can't wait to see what you do on the pitch.
Awesome. Thank you so much.